Hello and welcome to this bowcrafting tutorial. Let's dive straight into it. First off, what you need for bowcrafting? Skills, of course. Okay, first off, press L to open your skill menu and click on the tab Profession Skills. Be aware that you don't need all skills in order to make good bows. It just depends on what type of bows you're gonna craft and of what materials, of course. Just for the start, you need bowery, because that is the parent skill of all bow crafting. You need that. Then it just depends. But just for example, if you want to make asymmetrical bows, you need to learn long bows and you need to learn short bow crafting. And be aware that you need the material skills too. So if you craft with wood, you need the wood lore for that. Same for all the other materials too. But you can save a few points if you don't want to make self bows, for example. Self bows are bows made only from one material, and composite bows are bows that made out of two materials. Okay, let's talk about the general stats of bows. Every bow has a weight and a durability and a maximum range, which means damage, but not damage in raw points. It's rather an indicator to what the actual damage is. But it's an indicator if you wanna compare bows with each other. And one of the most important indicators is the strength requirement. Okay, now just for example, my character have 110 strength. If I would use a bow that is over 110 strength, then your stamina drains really fast. If the strength requirement is much higher, then you're not even able to draw the bow. So in order to make good bows in general, you must craft them for your friends and your customers just slightly under their strength. Just for example, I have 110 strength and I have a bow with 109.84 strength requirement. That is just a perfect bow for me, for example. It also depends on the materials you use and on the bow type, of course. Each type of wood and each type of every other material give each bow and each type different properties. Also be aware that the lower the strength requirement and the higher your strength is, the less stamina you will need to draw the bow. So we will just make some test bows here. I will show you all of the bows in a bit. Here I'm currently crafting a bow only made out of white wood. It is an asymmetrical bow and it's only made out of one material, so it's a single bow. If you want to make bows out of two materials, we have the composite option. There you can decide the base material of the bow and the secondary material of the bow. With the slider you can indicate how much of which material you want to use. There you can adjust the slider to your strength. You're also able to make bows out of many other materials. If you have, for example, spiders in your hometown or around your hometown, you can hunt them for creepite or dense creepite. These two materials were one of the best materials in Mortal Online 1. But the Mortal Online 1 recipes don't convert to Mortal Online 2. So it's a whole new territory of bowcrafting. You can use many other materials, many animal materials. For example, you can use bone tissues from springboks or some other creatures. Okay, let's talk a little bit about bow shapes in general. You have the recurve shape, which will have a higher damage output, but will have a lot less durability than the decurve bow. The decurve shape has more durability over the recurve shape, but the decurve shape has a little bit less damage than the recurve. So if you're not making a lot of PvP or fighting aggressive PvE opponents, the decurve shape is recommended for that. You can save a lot of resources in the long run if you hunt years with the decurve shape instead of the recurve shape. But also be aware that you need a little bit more arrows than over the recurve shape. But in the end it just depends on what you want and how you play the game. Now we will talk a little bit about the bow types in general. The short bow is a really good bow if you are on foot and running away from someone, for example. Or if you are a mage character and don't have much strength, but you would like to be able to defend yourself against a mounted, for example, then it's always good that you have a short bow with you, even if the short bow doesn't do much damage if you build one with low strength. But at least you can defend yourself and you can maybe help your group to survive the mounted attack, for example. Also, don't use longbow arrows with a short bow. You will do less damage. And for now, we will try the short bow on this priest. It's just made out of creepite, for example, and has around 80 strength requirement. Oh, 54 on the head. That's not bad at all. If you're considering that you can spam with these bows a lot of arrows. This guard is harder than I thought. Oh man, I can't be that bad. Come on. Okay, I admit it. I'm that bad. Okay, now we try the run and gun tactics with the guard. And we just kite them. And as you can see, I can run backwards and shoot at the guard at the same time without getting much stamina penalty. Shortbows are really amazing in that manner. Or if you track people down, it's the same way. If they're running from you, you can run behind them and shoot them in the back. But you need a lot more arrows than with a longbow or a asymmetrical bow. But at least you can spam the arrows like a maniac. And they also do decent damage. But if your opponent has piercing armor and, for example, tongue steel, then your arrows nearly do nothing. Yeah, it just depends how much strength requirement this bow has and what the properties of this bow is and your strength, but in general, short bows are really good. Okay, now let's talk about the asymmetrical bows. Don't use longbow arrows on that, just broadhead or bodkin or blunt or whatever, but no longbow arrows on these bows. The asymmetrical bows are perfect bows for mounted combat, mounted archery. Because on a mount you can't use longbows, though we don't know exactly yet, but I guess they will not allow longbows on mounts. In Mortal Online 1 they weren't allowed on mounts, so they will be not allowed. The asymmetrical bows do a very high damage. I made my bow out of shitty stuff, though that's why it's only 50 damage. With high-end recipes you can go up to 100 or 110 for example, even above that. Okay, let's try the kiting with this bow. Sure, it's normally used on mounts, so this comparison is not fair. But I can at least show you the stamina difference. If you look at the stamina bar, I already have a little bit lost in the stamina. But with the short bow I would have my full stamina bar ready to strike. Even if you're not a bow user, I would highly suggest that you always carry a bow with you. Because if a mounted group attacks you or something, you can defend yourself pretty good. Also depending on the environment like rocks and the trees and stuff. Let's talk a little bit about long bows. Please use this type of bows only with longbow arrows. That's why they are called longbow arrows. I don't have a very young audience, so I just guess you already figured that out. Longbows are not only good for hunting, they are also pretty good sniper bows. If you wanna snipe inside the town from outside the town, like the gutter snipes did 24/7, I still miss my pants to this day. They were also attacking us from the rooftops. Let's try if I can hit this priest. Wow, on the first try! I'm the born up griefer, man. Okay, a few more and then we leave the lady alone. And the guards don't hunt me up here. Now I have PTSD flashbacks from Mortal Online 1 again. I hope Starvolt will do something about this. Because I can just imagine the bad reviews coming from people like some idiot killed my donkey and stuff. These longbows are really dangerous. They were responsible for thousands of pets dying. But I love the longbows. You can do very massive damage with these bows. The one I used is crafted with shit. Sometimes these bows can reach damages up to 130 or 140. And now I'm just trying to hit myself because I don't know how to end my videos. Thank you all for watching and see you next time. Also, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please subscribe. And have a great day. Goodbye.